Hey everybody, it's Holly here today, and today we're going to be introducing our fall giveaway. This is going to be a video contest, so unlike our regular contest where you just enter, this one you need to create a video. So break out those cameras, and we want to see you create a fall project using any products that we may carry in the MarkerPop store, markers, stamps, whatever we've got. Our first place prize is going to be a $50 gift card and a mystery bag, and then we've got a second place prize for a $25 gift card. If you're not a fan of making videos or you just don't do it, that's okay. You can enter your project using the link on the blog post, and we will also be giving away a $15 gift card for a third place prize. The contest is going to run from today, September 22nd, through October 15th, so be sure to head over to the MarkerPop blog and see the post that's linked below in the description box. That will give you more details. You want to leave a link to your video and your project in the linky tool there. We will pick our winners over the weekend of October 15th, and we will announce our winners on that following Monday. So good luck, everybody. We can't wait to see what you create. Okay, so let's get started with today's video. Today I'm going to be making a fall card using some products from My Favorite Things, Lawn Fawn, and Right at Home. This is the cross-stitch hatch circle die from My Favorite Things. It's actually retired now. This is Blueprints 29. I'm using the large stick rectangle and the banner, fishtail banner with the stitch on it, the Lawn Fawn Petite Fall paper pad, and the Grateful Heart set from Right at Home. I'm also going to be using some brown cardstock and some archival potting soil ink and the Zig Clean Color Real brush marker. So we're going to start out by die cutting the stitch rectangle from a piece of the Lawn Fawn paper. And again, this is the fall 6x6 petite pad. And I'm going to go ahead and die cut that, and then I'm going to die cut the circle using the cross stitch stacks from MFT. Then once I've got both of those stitched, I'm going to go ahead and get that first rectangular piece down onto a chocolate chip colored card base, and I'm just using some regular Cape Runner adhesive. And this is your standard A2 size top folding card. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that rectangular piece of the plaid paper. And then before I attach the circular piece, I'm going to go ahead and run that back through my Big Shot using the same rectangle die that I die cut this rectangle with. This will give me the same stitch line along the edge because I want to have the circle partially cut off. So you just line that up in your Big Shot and just kind of doing some partial die cutting where you're just die cutting part of it. Well, it's not really partial die cutting, you're just cutting off the side of it. So anyway, just going to go ahead and adhere that down. Now I do adhere that down with some tape runner, but then later on I decided to rip that up and use some foam tape. So I probably should have used some adhesive or waited on that. So we're going to go ahead and start getting coloring, and I'm going to stamp the pumpkin from the Grateful Heart set from Right at Home onto some Bristol Smooth cardstock using the Archival Ranger potting soil ink. And this is good for watercoloring, and I'm going to use the Zig Clean Color Real brush markers. I'm using the bright yellow and the orange markers, and then I'm also using the Nuvo water brush pens. I believe I'm using the medium one. I'm also going to use some dark brown and a little bit of green for the stem of the pumpkin. So I'm going to go ahead and just color those in. I'm putting some color down, and I'm going back in with my water brush and moving it around. And then once I have that all done, I go ahead and add some color to a block, an acrylic block, and then I pick that color up again with the water brush and drop that down in to kind of give more of a watercolor effect. So the pumpkins have this twirly little vine on them, and I don't want to cut that out because it'll have a white border around it. So what I'm going to do is some masking. So I have this piece of scrap here where I stamped them on originally and I didn't like them, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that pumpkin out and create a mask with it. Any piece of thin paper would work, post-it note, whatever you got lying around. So I'm kind of going to use that. I'm putting a little bit of adhesive on the back and I'm using my finger to kind of de-sticky it so it's not as sticky. And so I'm going to go ahead and stamp that down where I want it. Trying to figure out where I want the 3 pumpkins to be, so I'm going to put the mask down, then I'm going to stamp the pumpkin on top of it so that partially just mostly the stem part shows, and this helps keep that pumpkin in the background and your other pumpkins in the front. Now I am going to actually cut the pumpkins out, so they will be layered on the top, but you don't want to have that little twirly thing, I guess you'd say. You don't want to have that overlapping each other. You want to keep that separate. And then using the mask also helps where it's coming in. So I went ahead and cut the pumpkins out, and then when I was done cutting them out, I used the Vintage Photo Distress Marker and ran that along the sides to cover up any of the white showing. Just kind of gives a cleaner look. So now on this one, I have the first pumpkin down, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp the next pumpkin over top of it because the vine will be on that pumpkin. And then I'm just going to keep repeating the process. I'm going to cut out the next pumpkin, use the marker on the edge, and then I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment using the same archival ink onto a piece of vanilla cardstock. This is where you probably should use your Mini Misty if you've got one. I didn't, and it took me a couple times to get the perfect impression that I wanted. So once I had the perfect impression, I went ahead and used that little fishtail banner die from the MFT 29 blueprints. And then I'm going to go ahead, this is the part where I decided to pull that green circle up off my cardstock very carefully. And I decided to go ahead and add the foam tape to the back of that. So I'm going to go ahead and add the foam tape, put that back down, and then I'm going to place my pumpkins back down, and then I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of the sentiment banner, and then I'm just going to add that. So once I have the banner down, or the pumpkins down, then I add the banner with a piece of foam adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple enamel dots that match the paper. I just wanted to bring in a little bit more of that green. So I'm just going through my collection here of enamel dots and finding one that I work. I end up with a very old My Mind's Eye one, but we do have several different brands in the store, so be sure to check those out. And once I have those dots down, that pretty much finishes up my card. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon, and be sure to check out our fall video contest for a chance to win those great prizes I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Bye-bye.